What you see is as layoffs become more common, as we're seeing, whether it's big tech or it expands beyond that, or as money isn't free, so the venture firms aren't getting the opportunities that they used to have with money coming in for free, and unemployment rate goes up a little bit, that all of a sudden employers are in more control than the employees, which we've been dealing with the inverse of that for the past 3 years.
So for all of those out there thinking, well, I mean, even in the Wall Street Journal, there was this article yesterday about how all the tech workers who've been laid off have had a surprisingly easy time finding work. Why is that not going to persist?
Well, it will persist for the top 5 to 10% of the working population. And what I mean by that is the top tier talent, whether you're an athlete, a surgeon, an accountant, a news anchor, a recruiter, it doesn't matter. The top of the top always have more control over their workplace flexibility and what they want to do. That's always been the case, and it always has been. That's why these buzzwords are a little bit passé, because in this day of social media, we need a clickbait. But at the end of the day, we've always had people resigning because they don't like their boss or the hours. And they always had people having regret. And boomerang employees have been around for 40 years. What we have to realize is that the people who want to make the most money are usually the ones who are going to work the hardest and put in the most time. And what ends up being the checkpoint is, are they as good as the people who want more balance? But as long as the people who work harder and want more are just as good, if not better, than these other folks, they're going to rise up and they're going to be leading the charge. It's always been that way, and it always will be.
I want you to tell me the future. What are the buzzwords going to be for 2023? Do you think the whole quiet quitting thing, all the I mean, all of that you think is firmly behind us, all of the pandemic shifts? What about work from home?
Yeah, I think what we're really turning to is a permanent hybrid. So we're going to have 3 days a week that I would say 75% of the companies are going to be in the office, and it's going to move towards a mandate, meaning you don't get to pick what days you're in. That the majority of employees and companies are going to have people in the office Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then I think over time, you're going to have some that go Monday through Thursday, and Friday is going to become remote Friday. Will be what casual Friday was 30 years ago. It'll be creeping in, and more and more companies will do it, and it'll be hard to get rid of that. And I'm not sure that's necessarily a bad thing. Again, Kelly, before all the hate message and tweets come my way, I'm not saying anything's good or bad. I have my own opinions. I'm just telling you where things are going to be a year from now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess sort of most obviously, if we're going into recession, we all know what that job market's like. It's really only.
I'm not so sure we're going into a recession.
Yeah.
Kelly. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that. I think what we're going to have is we've got big tech companies, the Amazons and the Facebook Metas, that they thought they knew exactly where the world was going to be. It was remote work forever for Amazon. Meta was launching the metaverse, and that was where everybody wanted to be. And that just didn't happen as the pandemic went away and they overhired. And we saw that interest rates went up. And that just meant that free money wasn't right. I'm 50 years old. In the late 90s and the early 2000s, money wasn't free, and we had a great economy. And so we see that this is going to continue. And don't forget, we've still got the infrastructure package. If we had the workers to do anything on the blue-collar side to build highways and all the ancillary business that comes off of that, I really think that the economy is going to be strong in 2023, and we'll have slight verticals that have recessionary tendencies. But I don't think we're going to be in 2009 experience.
Yeah, I hope you're right. What then do you think is the lasting impact of inflation on the labor market?
Well, I think what's happening right now is that we haven't had real inflation since the mid 70s. And heck, like I said, I'm 50. I was born in 72, so I was a toddler at that point, and I don't remember it. And so we've got most of the working workforce, the working world hasn't really experienced inflation. And now what they're realizing is getting a big raise and having things cost more really wash each other out. And having money flushed into the system, there are consequences to that. So as a society, we've gotten an economics 101 lesson. And what the average worker has to realize is if you get everything you ask for, it doesn't always turn out a happy ending. So you get to work from home and you're making more money, but inflation's gone up, as has depression, as has you're not getting promotions, as has a lot of other things that have gone wrong in society. So I think that we're going to look at this for the worker and see that coming back to the office 3 or maybe 4 days a week isn't a bad thing. And it's what most workers would have killed for 3 years ago.
Absolutely. Well said. Tom, thanks for joining us today. Good to see you.